And thanks for joining us today here on the Bike Culture Talks from Film by Bike, where we bring into the conversation all sorts of interesting folks from around the world to talk about what they're doing related to bike culture. And today we're so excited to have Nancy Stone from Northwest Trail Alliance, the Education and Sustainability Director, to talk about some of the great work that this trail advocacy organization has going on in the region. So Nancy, thanks so much for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me.
I know you guys, I figured we would just hear a little bit from you on the history of Northwest Trail Alliance. What is the focus of your organization and where are you guys doing the good work that you do?
Okay, so we've been around since 1988, so 32 years this year. And we're just a regional advocacy group. We advocate for off-road cycling, mountain biking, and that kind of spans basically Northwest Oregon, Southwest Washington. So we go as far east as the western slopes of Mount Hood. We go as far north as the north side of Mount St. Helens, and we head all the way out to the coast to the Clutchie Creek trails near Seaside. And then basically everywhere in between, sprinkled in between.
And how did you get involved in the organization? What's your history with NWTA and your interest in off-road cycling?
Well, I started mountain biking a handful of years ago, and I immediately fell in love with it. What I noticed was that there wasn't I was looking around, looking for people who look like me. So I was looking for more women, and I was meeting some cool people, but the numbers weren't really in my favor. And so I partnered up with a local bike shop that's in my community, Proper Cycle Works, and we started women's rides and clinics. And I was, somewhat, I was definitely familiar with NWTA, had gone to several of their events. And when they found out what we were doing, they became very interested and asked what they could do to help. And we got them on board, and immediately just that partnership blossomed, and we were able to create a really beautiful program, and brought a lot of women trans, femme into the fold, and just created an atmosphere where everybody just felt supported and safe to learn, a place that was really safe to learn. So that's how I got involved with NWTA. I made a lot of friends, and then it just kind of went from there.
Well, I know that Northwest Trail Alliance has a lot of exciting work happening these days and some new developments. I'm excited to share that with the audience, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But before we do, I want to know a little bit more about Northwest Trail Sisters. I know it's a great program that has really seems to have taken off so quickly. Tell us a little bit about the Northwest Trail Sisters and what it's up to and how people get involved.
So you can follow us on Northwest Trail, and we have Northwest Trail Sisters Facebook page. And so that is going to be the best place to get the updates on what's going on. It's a little bit quiet right now since we're not doing group events, but it's almost monthly that we have at least one ride or free clinic, and everything is completely free, even the refreshments and snacks afterwards. And a lot of times there are clinics at the beginning of each ride, and it's just like an hour to an hour and a half of working on specific skill sets and doing it in just, again, like I said earlier, an atmosphere where it's okay to fail, but because that's how we succeed, and we do it together, and we lift each other up, and we learn from each other, and that's just really what we're all about. And again, you can find that information on NWTA's website, nw-trail.org, and you can go to the Northwest Trail Sisters on Facebook.
Awesome. That's great. I love following Northwest Trail Sisters on Instagram. There's so many great
Oh, thank you.
photos, and it's super cool to see what folks are up to there and quite an inspiration. And that's just awesome. So, by the way, today, in honor of the great work that Northwest Trail Alliance does, I don't have a Northwest Trail Alliance shirt, but I am wearing my Mountain Bike Oregon shirt. So,
Oh,
doing my
nice
best to
job.
do some mountain bike representation today. This is from the NBO 10th anniversary years ago. So it's great.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. We have such a great community of mountain biking here in Oregon. And I love hearing about what the different organizations are doing and how their work dovetails, and as the groups kind of hit each other's fringes, how they form alliances and support each other's good work. So it's certainly been awesome to see everything that NWTA has done over the years. And it's so interesting that Portland is on the global stage as being this bike friendly city, but yet our access to off-road cycling just really isn't there. And it's so interesting to hear from other communities where they say, oh yeah, I go out my back door and I hit the trail. And we don't have that here, but it sounds like things are starting to change. I know you guys have been hard at work behind the scenes for many, many years. Tell us about some of the new developments that you have, specifically working with Portland Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, so this is actually why NWTA was formed 32 years ago, um, and that was to advocate for getting access to some of the parks, more access to the parks in Portland, so that people could ride from their backyards. And so just recently, we signed a formal agreement with Portland Parks to be their trail stewardship organizations. Basically, we'll be stewarding all the soft surface trails in the Portland parks. And right now, we have formal agreements for Fire Lane 5 at Forest Park and the soft surface trails at Powell Butte. And really, what this does is it gives us a seat at the table, and so we can show them what we are capable of and what our membership is capable of. Right now, I think that we're like at 2,900 members,
Wow.
and that's a huge jump. We've way more than doubled our numbers in the last year, and with that comes just an incredible amount of experience that our members have in building trails, and just kind of overall like a lot of knowledge there. And so when we're building trails and maintaining trails, it's high quality work. And so we are really excited to be able to show parks what we're capable of doing, and why it's just really valuable to partner with us.
That's so exciting. Congratulations for all that good work. I know it seems in some ways like it happened so quickly because the general public is just now hearing about it, but I know that for so many years, y'all have been working behind the scenes on that. So I'm really
But
excited to be able to follow along with what Northwest Trail Alliance is doing, and to see. I know change won't happen overnight, but it is, like you said, so exciting that you have a seat at the table now and you'll be able to bring this to the conversation. I just have a feeling that, as our city grows and changes, as our region grows and changes, there are going to have to be some natural changes in Forest Park as well. So it'll be interesting to see kind of all throughout the region what comes in, and I appreciate having Northwest Trail Alliance as a part of that. I know you've also had a big development in the Scappoose area. Can you talk a little bit
Mhm.
about what's happening up there and the trail access that's available there?
Sure. So that was super exciting for us. Last summer, we signed a lease agreement with Weyerhaeuser on 3,000 acres of land out there, and this is just, depending, of course, on where you're at in Portland, but only about 20 minutes west of Portland. So it may not be out your back door, but it's pretty darn close, and it's the closest we've had to something so large, close to the city. And there were some existing trails out there already, and but now, and it kind of has been on the up and up, and maybe under the radar at sometimes. Those trails out there now, it's legitimate, and we have this partnership, this really great partnership with Weyerhaeuser, and we, in the last, I don't know, like, what is it now, 9 months, have established new trails out there, and it has a little bit of something for everyone. So we have some cross country, some downhill, a little bit of everything in between, and really we have so many more options to be able to continue to grow out there, and it's super exciting, and it's absolutely beautiful. In fact, on a clear day, you can see Mount Rainier, Mount Adams, Mount St. Helens, Mount Hood, and Jefferson. So that's just, and you're overlooking Portland and the valley, and it's phenomenal. And I feel so fortunate that we get to offer that to our members.
Yeah, definitely. That's an exciting new development. And I know you and the other folks involved in Northwest Trail Alliance do so much good work and so much hard work. What is it for you personally that motivates you to do so much advocacy in the off-road cycling realm?
I love mountain biking, and I love mountain biking because, well, it's fun. It's super fun. It's rewarding. It's challenging. I'm a very social person, and so I love the social aspect of it. I love that I can go out with friends, and there's always somebody who is up for a ride. And I love that I can go out there to wherever there is, and usually run into somebody that I know or make a new friend. But really, I just love our wild spaces. I love, especially in the Northwest, I think we're especially fortunate to have the beauty that we have around us. And I think that when more people get out and they see that, they're willing to protect it. And I think that that's what we need right now. And so it gives me a little bit of extra drive to want to bring other people into that fold and say, look what we have now, like, let's take care of it.
That's so great to hear. And I know that it's not easy work, but those of us who get to go out and ride the trails appreciate the awesome work that you do. Folks, we've been talking today with Nancy Stone from Northwest Trails Alliance. Is there anything we haven't yet talked about that you want to make sure we get out there before we sign off today, Nancy?
I would just say, know that the trails are going to be out there when we're able to get back out, but they don't build themselves. And we would love to, if you're not already involved with building trail, we would love to have you come on board. The Trail Sustainability Institute is kind of our education education part of our program. And we have different training programs that you can be a part of to get some experience under your belt, and then you can give back to these trails that are always out there for you, but they don't build themselves. So we would really love to have everybody come on board, and you can check us out at nw-trail.org.
Excellent, Nancy. Thank you so much. It was exciting to hear more about the seat at the table you have with Portland Parks and Recreation. We look forward to seeing some overtime. We know it's going to be a slow process, but it's a process. More trail access here in the Portland region. It was also really interesting to hear about the broad reach that Northwest Trail Alliance has. As your name indicates, you guys are far beyond just the Portland area, doing really great work. And I am so excited for the developments in Scappoose. I'm sure this summer NWTA members are really going to be out there as soon as we can get out there enjoying that trail network. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Folks, this is Bike Culture Talk on the Film by Bike YouTube channel, where we are interviewing folks from all around the world involved in bike culture. If you ever have a suggestion for someone you think we should talk with, feel free to send us an email or reach out to us and let us know. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss one of these live streams. You can also go through our archive to see what's available. And don't miss our bike movie night series, which is just about to kick off this weekend. You can find out more information at filmbybike.org. Thanks so much for tuning in today.